more swimmy spino footage, an insane waterfall tool, a brilliant look at the Jurassic Park theme set, and much more in today's feature focus update of Jurassic World Evolution 3. So let's have a look at the feature focus first and then meet again to do a bit of a deeper analysis.
Welcome back, park managers. In this module, we'll be focusing on sculpting those grand visionary parks. You'll be molding the land and lakes to create the perfect environment for your dinosaurs and guests. Moving mountains is surprisingly easy with the tools available. Build upwards to add elevation to your park, or dig down to create impressive valleys and canyons with rocky cliffs or ramps to form gradual inclines. Then fill out your park with a wide variety of rocks and foliage. Swiftly cover large areas of enclosures and decorate the finer details. And it's not just the land to think about. Add shallow or deep water to form lakes and even waterfalls for your guests and dinosaurs to enjoy. With all these tools, you can create beautiful natural enclosures and spectacular sights within your parks. Be sure to watch the rest of our modules for further training on managing your parks.
Alright, let's get into today's deeper analysis of this feature focus. Now, as I said in the introduction, there are some very cool things to get from this one. And I must start with the very obvious one, the graphics. It actually seems like with every single updated video we get, the game starts to look even more beautiful. It is absolutely staggering how these valleys and the lighting and everything just looks. I mean, just like in this frame, sure, it's like a little bit maybe from the processing of YouTube, you can't get it as detailed as I have it on here, but you can definitely tell like how the depths in here works. There's like this little haze from the sun glaring in here. We do have a very nice kind of way how the shadow is like reflecting the bounce lights and so on, because as it will feature global illumination again, oh boy, it looking so good. We have our stegos in here. They seem to thrive very nicely. And what I also find very interesting from these shots over here is the navigation of animals. Like, you gotta imagine that these new tools will also bring new challenges in terms of how dinosaurs will navigate the terrain. If you've played Jurassic World Evolution 1, you know that mostly everything was very flat or maybe very subtle areas in terms of inclines, because the tools didn't really give you the chance to build steep inclines anyways. So the navigation was more or less easy anyways for the game to calculate. But now we are talking about something way more intricate with the different rocks formations, steeper inclines and so on. We get to that in a second. But like, this is very interesting to look at. So zooming in, we can see a completely different look over here. Also in terms of the lighting, seems to be biome dependent again, which is very nice. We have this kind of rocky mountain-ish, or maybe this is North America again, who knows, but like the chalet kind of style looks like Yosemite-ish vibe, so that could be very well it. But you know, there is very nice to see. Unfortunately, again, we can't really see any staircases or so. It's something I have been trying to spot in this video specifically, but I haven't seen that. We see a couple of balconies, which I'm very curious to understand how that exactly works, if there will be a chance to create separate areas of balconies or how that is going on. Not really sure how that will work out, but we can definitely tell there's like a balcony down here, there's one here where a person is on, so maybe people get there. There's another one with here, so maybe as soon as you put down a certain like staircase, you know, like these seating areas, maybe people automatically get here. But I would love to have it even more integrated, because things like this in here, if you can see that where the zip line is, you know, there is that pathway leading up, which looks a little bit exaggerated in my opinion. The same goes for that one over here. This is kind of crazy. Like this ramp over here goes very nice, you know, that's fine, but that one and that one over here looks a little bit too crazy for me. I do hope they have a solution for that maybe in the pocket later on, but this is something I'm very much looking into when I'm getting these videos, you know, because wherever you look in these, also, God, just look at how fantastic all these kind of things look. I don't know if that may actually be Isla Nubla over here, guys. I'm not sure if it will be still in. I mean, I guess because we have the original Jurassic theme as well, and this could actually be the Jurassic theme with the thatch roofs and so on over here. Actually, in action, we haven't seen too much of it yet, as we did know it is in game. But the first look at these is kind of cool, to be honest. It looks very much like what I would envision the Jurassic theme to look like, apart from that kind of backstage area deluxe shots we had. But like, look at these waterfalls and stuff. We get to see this even more in a second. But yeah, we're talking about the landscaping more or less. I mean, they say shaping our parks, but what it actually is landscaping. So let's stick with the menu for a second. We did have a couple of things in the intro already, so you know what kind of tools we have. But going through over here, you can see we still have push and pull. We've got flattened to ground. This is a bit of an odd one. This could be flattened to maybe valley, and that is flattened to plateau. Kind of maybe something like that, or maybe raised to plateau and flattened to plateau. Something like that could be a thing. Then we have this roughen tool that we are used to having from the Planet games as well, where you can create kind of rough areas very easily. We do have the typical kind of smooth tool, as it seems like. This one is very interesting indeed. These two ones maybe is like create. It looks like actually rounding edges, like for example, having steep edges instead of having hard ones, or like actually, let's say smooth edges instead of rough ones, but not smoothing out the height elevation, I guess. This could be simply like this. And this over here seems to be the kind of brand new kind of ramp tool, which seems to be one specific ramp on a clear edge and another one on a rough edge. I'm not entirely sure what that exactly is. We do have a very interesting option here with the fall off. Is something I haven't seen in the games before, so we're gonna see how that works. Maybe also for like more shallow lake areas or so, that it will help to shape these areas a bit nicer. I don't know, but very interesting indeed. There's kind of a lot of tools over here. I'm a little bit missing the chisel tool, but maybe it's not in here because we still don't have like overhangs, as it seems. So there seems to be still that kind of limitation that you can't go past 90 degrees, which is a bit of an odd one if it is the same kind of tool. I thought it was, but it simply seems not to be. I haven't seen any kind of nature overhang, and you can still see that in the screen over here. It still pushes like to the center of it, and there's no overhang to the side. So that is definitely something you will have to do with rocks. We have this very nice like kind of alley tool, but I mean, look at the waterfalls here in the background. That looks absolutely fantastic. We have what seems to be like an Allosaurus down here. I'm not entirely sure if it is. No, that's definitely not the Allosaurus. I'm not sure which one it is. You guys tell me in the comments down below. Or maybe it is. Could be a different variant of it, but I'm not entirely sure. We do have, again, the rock tool. We do have, as I said, this is the tool in action for the ramp. Very interesting indeed. We've got some stegos roaming around in here. And this shot, the next shot is, again, revealing some incredible graphics. Oh my god, look at that. It is so good. Again, me trying to spot if there is anything to see about staircases or anything other special. Maybe I missed something out, but you can definitely tell in here. It seems to be all very natural edges. Like, there are some buildings, supposedly these are kind of hotel buildings maybe, and there's like a fall off over here where the animals can't escape. We have a lot of different nature kind of, you know, brushes over here that we can use from various areas. Very, very cool tools. I'm actually very happy. But also this is a super interesting one over here, because you can see we get all the plants individually as individual pieces. And the next little bit over here is straight out of Planko, straight out of the Planet games, where you basically have the manipulation tool with the full 3D gizmo, and then you also have the scale tool and the move tool. You can see the exact same controls down here. So this is the full Planet game experience if you want to. You can use the brush tool as a convenience kind of thing if you're more like the, you know, casual player and you want to quickly draw certain areas. But if you want to place your palm tree exactly at that spot with exactly the rotation in the perfect space, you get this. But very interesting is that one down here. This seems to be kind of underwater some kind of underwater scenery, which I'm very curious to see what that is. But you can definitely, like, if we go through the menu real quick, we've got blueprints, which is very good because we now have the Frontier Workshop implemented in here in the way of having blueprints, which is a completely new experience for Jurassic World Evolution players. So be warned, this is amazing. You can download virtually anything you want, and people out there have creative minds, build the craziest things if you want to have them in your parks, and you will be even quicker building very great looking parks with the assets of other people. We do have wall sets, windows, roofs, trims, columns, gates and doors. That seems to be, this could be kind of, I thought first of all that this was like a table, but I'm rather certain that this seems to be like something that is just like a, maybe like a roof or another kind of shelter, I guess shelter maybe. Then we've got fences, planters, supports, kind of beams and supports. This seems to be more like backstage, kind of, you know, cargo area, signages, signs. That seems to be maybe decoration, fossil decoration, lamps apparently, nature, rocks. This seems to be tables and picnic tables and stuff like that. That could be signs or pictures, or maybe billboards even. I don't know. That would be fun. We've got our letters again. This seem to be the simple shapes, because simple shapes are very good. These are like non-textured geometry shapes. You know, you can use like cylinders and you know, kind of things like that you can use, rectangles and blah blah blah. So things you can manipulate yourself. And then again, that seems to be like underwater. Very interesting. But yeah, going further into it, you can see scaling in action, and you can see now painting the water in action. And this is becoming the next bit in this video. Is ridiculous, my friends. This is absolutely ridiculous. Not only that we knew we can create waterfalls, it seems like we have a very nice control over the strengths over here. Have a look how it just, like, first of all, with a small push you get that one, and look at the water in the lower area, how it immediately starts to flow in. That is an advanced stuff over here. Spino has a good feeling of getting some new water over here. But oh my god, look at this. I mean, look at the shot. Isn't that absolutely amazing? But you can also see that we have some more shallow ramps over here. It's not always like full. You can also make like rapids over here. I mean, look at how shallow that is. You don't really need to have these kind of crazy inclines to create a full waterfall. No, you get this almost like full flowing river appeal over here, and I'm super jealous at this point. I want to have that in Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster immediately. I need it now. This is one of the greatest things I've never expected from Frontier. And for people who love landscaping and doing stuff like that, it's good. And also, it seems like they can still interact with these areas, like as the stego is obviously drinking over here. That is so freaking damn good. I don't have words for that. It is so good looking. Like, even here you've got the water going down below the viewing area. You've got a hotel to top. There's like the visitor center. Most definitely this is the Jurassic theme over here, by the way. I think this is a new map revealed in this one. I like these kind of pebbles over here. Haven't seen these ones in action. And then we've got the Spino roaming around. But look at the water in general. How much kind of, you know, movement it seems to have in here. I just generally love the looks of it. Absolutely amazing stuff. For me personally, I think this was a very interesting feature focus, despite the fact there is not that much news in here. I'm not sure if the stego was already kind of, you know, confirmed as well. We do have what seems to be the Allosaurus in the other one, but, you know, not about the dinosaurs. There's not too much confirmation about other ones, but there's a lot of confirmation about the power, the new power of the terrain tools and what they are capable of, and the different textures in action over here. I mean, we can see a lot of different textures. This map seems to be a map where Frontier was going, okay, we're gonna show off, okay, we're gonna just show off what the tool is capable, and we create a bajillion waterfalls just because we can. But yeah, it's so good to see, like, down here to the right hand side, you can see there's like a shallow water flow going down, like a water stream. And I can't even imagine what people will be able to do with this. We will be getting the best looking river and natural areas in any Frontier game to date. I'm very certain about that. If people that really are capable of having an eye for that will get hands on these tools, we'll get some amazing looking stuff, guys. Really, I'm ready for it. My body is ready for it. Like, just look at that. It's looking super good. But if you take some more time to place some more rocks in a nice position and just make sure that there's not a random tree over here and whatnot, you can create something really, really, really lovely. And I can't wait to do that on my own. I really can't. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think of this feature focus, and also I don't want to say new, because we knew already that there is going to be the Jurassic theme, but in that sense that we now have finally seen it, how it actually looks, very interesting from that feature focus as well. It seems to be a mixture of the new Jurassic World appeal and the Jurassic Park look, because these are kind of thatch roof buildings that we can see scattered around here everywhere. Let's see if we get a good shot of those as well. Again, maybe was that earlier on? Let's go. Where were you guys? Maybe in the first shots. Yeah, there you go. Seems to be like the mixture. Yeah, that is definitely the Jurassic World kind of theme, and that down here is more like the Jurassic Park-ish vibe. Same goes for that seemingly station over here, or just shelter. Definitely Jurassic Park look, and then you get the Jurassic World kind of visitor center. Anyways, I'm rambling. Hopefully you enjoyed this update. I certainly did a lot, and if you want to make sure to not miss out on any news around Jurassic World Evolution 3, make sure to sub to the channel if you haven't already. I'd be very happy to welcome you in the camera crew, and until then, have a good time, and bye.